Hi friends, good to see you again all. I hope you all will be fine. And for all of you I pray that God fulfill all your dreams and give you lots of happiness. And my dear friends, every time I try my best to give you all latest news. Therefore, you are requested to sit tight on your seats and enjoy the latest news. Prime Minister Muhammad Shiaa Al-Sudani said Thursday, while attending a dialogue symposium in the Dutch city of Rotterdam, in the presence of a number of businessmen and representatives of 40 Dutch companies, that we asked the international coalition to end its mission in Iraq. A statement from Al-Sudani's office explained that the Prime Minister attended a dialogue seminar held on the sidelines of his official visit to the Netherlands, in the presence of a group of businessmen and representatives of 40 Dutch companies. Al-Sudani referred, according to the statement, to bilateral relations with the Netherlands, and the aspiration to develop them, especially in the economic aspect, stressing that Iraq is today going through a state of recovery, at various levels, after passing the stage of the war against ISIS, in which the Iraqi people were victorious with the support and assistance of society. Internationally, the Netherlands was among the countries supporting these efforts. Al-Sudani pointed out, according to the statement, that we asked the international coalition to end its mission in Iraq, which lasted 10 years, in light of the readiness and efficiency of the Iraqi security services, stressing that the government has priorities, including reforming the Iraqi economy, and we cannot continue to rely on oil revenues only. He added, Iraq is moving along two paths. The first is achieving reforms in the various economic, banking and financial sectors, and gas investment, and the other is implementing projects that provide job opportunities and meet our needs for services and goods. He continued, Iraq imports annually an amount of $70 billion in goods 2020, and with the Netherlands we have imports of approximately $500 million annually, and we have begun a program to use water optimally, in the conditions of scarcity that the region and the world suffer from, stressing that our support for farmers in purchasing modern irrigation systems, and we are trying to capitalize on the successful experiences in the Netherlands to confront water scarcity in Iraq. He continued, one of the outcomes of the meeting with the Dutch government is the formation of a cooperation council between Iraq and the Netherlands, to follow up on all files, including the Agriculture and Water Committee, and we succeeded in approving a 3-year budget, which is a message of stability in implementing projects without delay. He stated that the Iraq Fund for Development will engage with the private sector in implementing projects away from the government, whose role will be planning and organizing, and that the government, for the first time, provides sovereign guarantees to the private sector of up to 85% for any project being implemented, and we need a group of factories that provide construction materials for new cities, and investing in existing natural resources. He pointed out that Iraq has adopted the Development Road Project, which is the major economic corridor linking the large port of Al-Fau to Europe via Turkey, all the way to the port of Rotterdam. The development road saves time and transportation costs, and will contain non-stop railways. He pointed out that the Grand Al-Fau port will witness the light and opening in mid-2025, and one of the ships has made an experimental berth at one of its 5 berths. We have presented the draft Economic Amendments Law, which will provide an attractive environment for the private sector, and allow a foreign company ownership percentage of up to 100%, and we have begun to reform a radical approach to the financial and banking sector, and procedures related to compliance with global standards in financial transfers. He concluded that international and Arab banks have begun to open their branches in Iraq, and all nationalities are currently operating in Iraq, and at the European Union level, there are French, Italian, German, Spanish and Austrian companies, as well as Asian and Arab companies, and from countries in the region, and there is will and action, at all levels of state institutions. Iraq, in order to move to a better reality. And Iraq's Prime Minister, Muhammad Shiaa Al-Sudani, met U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris on Friday and reaffirmed the country's unwavering position on sovereignty. The subject of Al-Sudani's discussion with Harris on the fringes of his attendance at the Munich Security Conference (MSC) 2024 was bilateral relations between the United States and Iraq. A statement from the Prime Minister's office stated that one of the topics of discussion was confirming the need for ongoing communication via the Joint High Committee to wrap up the global coalition's activities against ISIS in Iraq. This is because the Iraqi military is becoming more capable and the threat posed by terrorist remnants is waning. During the discussion, there was also talk about expanding the scope of the Strategic Framework Agreement between the U.S. and Iraq to include all sectors of economic and developmental cooperation. Reiterating Iraq's firm position on sovereignty over its land, Al-Sudani emphasized that this concept is non-negotiable in any situation. President Biden's greetings were passed forward by Vice President Kamala Harris, who also extended an invitation for a visit to Washington. She underlined the U.S. administration's dedication to the Iraqi government's achievement in addressing a range of issues in different sectors. Harris emphasized how the present administration has been able to create fruitful alliances to stabilize Iraq and promote stability in the surrounding area. She conveyed her nation's interest in continuing the conversation about the global coalition's missions and through the Joint High Committee. Thanks, take care.